right, so today we're going to be talking about a 5-number summary. Now, before I get started, thumbs up, thumbs down. How many of you guys have seen a 5-number summary before or know what a 5-number summary is? Okay, Oko says no. Sally says yes. Okay, I've only got one yes, which is fine, because it's not even really that deep. I'm going to be honest. It's not that deep. So I'm assuming, and I'm going to hope that everybody was in last week Wednesday's lesson with Teacher Kirsty, where she taught us about things like quartiles, about percentiles, and about deciles, right? And yeah, so all of that stuff that we learned about is going to come into our 5-number summary, but in a specific way. All right, so let's talk about exactly what the 5-number summary is. Now, the 5-number summary, it's kind of like an condensed version of all the information that we are given about anything that we've collected data on. So 5-number summary involves our minimum value, our Q1 value, and I'm going to remind you guys that our Q1 value is the 25th percentile. Sorry, and I think I'm going to have to chat to these dogs now because they're busy fighting indoors. All right, so our Q2 value is again our 50th percentile. And does anybody remember what else do we call Q2? And our 50th percentile is also called our what? That's it, Sally, absolutely. It's also called our median. It's called our median, lovely. And our Q3, again, our Q3 is our 75th. Look now what I'm doing. Come on, Teacher Coco. 75th percentile. And we call that Q3. And then we have our maximum number. Now, what this does, what our 5-number summary does, is it splits our data into 4 equal parts. So there'll be one part there, one part here, one part here, and one part here. Okay, now I'm going to do a quick recap of what we learned or what you guys learned on Wednesday, and I'm hoping that it went something along the lines of, you remember, if we are counting for the 75th percentile, whatever number sits over here, let's say for instance, we wrote a test and somebody, or the 70th percentile is 18 out of 20. That means if you scored 18 out of 20 for this test, you scored higher or equal to 75% of the class. Okay, so if you've got 18 out of 20 and you're sitting on the 75th percentile, that means you are better at the test than 75% of the class. All right. So you've beat out all these people on this side of you. Okay, and so that means that there is 25% of the class that did better than you did. Can I get a thumbs up or a thumbs down? Does everybody understand what I mean when I say 75th percentile, 50th percentile, 25th percentile? All right, lovely. Okay, good stuff. So that's all that our 5-number summary is. It's like a condensed version of all the information that we've got. We're just using these 5 values. All right, let's see if we can actually put this here. We're going to start with this first one over here, and we're going to take the information that we get and we're going to plot it on a box and whisker. And I'm going to show you what a box and whisker looks like, because box and whiskers are made up of our 5-number summary. All right, so they've given us this information over here. Make box and whisker plots for the given data. What is the first thing that we need to do? Step number 1 would be to what, grade 10s? Who can tell me? It's not to go find the median, I'll tell you that. Aha, that's it, Sally, absolutely. We need to arrange our data in ascending order. That's the first thing we're going to do. So if we arrange all this data in ascending order, let's look for the smallest number. We're going to get 8, and then 9, and then 11, and then 14. So 8, 9, 11, 14. Let's keep going. After that, we would get 17, and then we would get 23, and then 30. So 17, 23, 30, and then a 32. Oh, wait, guys, I missed a 29. I'm sorry. 29 and then 30. Sorry. Okay, and then 29 and then 30, and then we would get 32, 32, 39. All right, 32, 32, 39. All right, so easy enough. All we're going to do is just pick off the numbers that we need. Now we need our minimum number, which would be the smallest number over here, and our maximum number, which would be the highest number over there. So minimum number 8, maximum number 39. Right. Now, the easiest way to do this, grade 10s, is to start with the median, because the median is going to cut my data in half, exactly in half. So I'm going to go and find the midpoint. So come in 1, come in 1, come in 1, come in 1. And the middle number that we're looking for over here is 23. So that means our median, or our Q2, remember our Q2 is our median. Q2 is 23, right? Now, we need to find Q1 and Q3. Now, Q1 and Q3 are going to be half of the data that we have on this side and half of the data that we have on that side. All right, so if we count inwards, 1, 1, 1, 1, we're going to land right in the middle of 11 and 14. Right, so in order to find the midpoint between those two numbers, I'm going to take both of those numbers, add them together, and divide by 2. So I'm going to go 11 plus 14 divided by 2. If I put that into my calculator, somebody put that into a calculator for me and get me an answer. 11 plus
18.
11 plus 14 divided by 2. I don't think it's 18, my darling. Let's look again. 18, 11 plus 14 divided by 2. Okay, I get 12,5. That's okay, Mandisa. That's perfectly fine. All right, so the mid number over here should be 12,5. Who just said 18? Can I ask who just said 18? I promise
It was me. Wait, it was me. Let me check again.
Okay, let me. Can I explain to you what's probably happened? This is what's probably happened. You've probably done this. You've gone 11 plus 14 on your calculator, and then you've immediately gone divided by 2. And your calculator is going to do that. It's going to BODMAS that, and you're going to have 11 plus 7. And that's how you end up with 18, my darling. So what you need to do is you need to first put 11 plus 14, click equals, and then divide by 2. Okay, so you say 25 and then divide by 2. All right, because remember your calculator is BODMASing. Okay, all right. So our Q1 over here is 12,5. Right, and then we go to the other side and we do the exact same thing. And I can tell by looking at my data, 1, 1, 1, 1. I'm going to land right in between 30 and 32. What is the number right between 30 and 32? This one I don't think we have to calculate for. We can tell. If we were going to calculate, we'd go 30 plus 32 divided by 2, and that would give us 31. So the answer that we'd be looking for over there is 31. Lovely, Palisa and Sally. Beautiful. So our Q3 value is 31. Now, what we're going to do with all this information that we've got here is we're going to plot it on something called a box and whisker plot, right? So this is what it consists of. First thing we need to do is we need to have a scale, okay? Now, the important thing about our scale is that it needs to be an accurate scale. So we can't decide that we're going to draw our scale freehand, however we feel the numbers need to be. No, because it is an accurate representation of the data and it helps us to sway the data in one way or the other, it's very important that we draw the scale accurately. Now, if you look at the scale we've been given here, they've made sure to space it out properly from 0 to 40. And that's something you're going to be required to do. And I'll show you why. Okay, so if we plot the minimum value, we're going to go to the number 8 on our graph, and we're going to draw a line, just a line. That's a whisker. We call it a whisker on this side. This is a whisker. Okay, and then we're going to take our maximum value, and we're going to draw the other whisker on the other side. We're going to draw the other whisker over here at 39, right? That's our minimum and our maximum value. Then we're going to go to the middle. We're going to plot Q1, Q2, and Q3. So if I plot Q1, that's 12,5, that's 12, that's 13. So right in between these two, just like that. 12,5, that is my Q1 value, Q1. Then we're going to go to Q2, that is 23. That's over there. There we go, Q2. My drawing isn't exactly spectacular, but it will work. All right, and then my Q3, which is 31, that would go over here. Okay, and I'm realizing I might need to bring this up a little bit more. Okay, let's draw that a little bit differently. 39, there we go. All right, and so my Q1, my Q2, and my Q3 are going to make up my box. So in the middle here, I will have a box. Hopefully your box looks better than mine because, wow, Teacher Coco, that's a very ugly box. But you guys understand what I mean. I'm drawing a box, guys. I'm drawing a box. Maybe let me use a shape. Let me use a shape. Okay, there we go. Because it wasn't looking all that great, I'll be honest. Okay, there we go. Just make it a little bit smaller because this is actually 23 and that one over there is 39. All right, there we go. That looks much better. Okay, there we go. All right, and this is, oh gosh, Teacher Coco, that's our Q2 value there. And then we're just going to connect our whiskers to our box like that. And there we go. Now we have a 5-number summary and we have a box and whisker plot. All right, and what this does is it helps us to be able to understand measures of central tendency, measures of spread, so your range, your interquartile range, all of that, and it tells us what your biggest number is and what your smallest number is. I will show you again, Palisa. Remember our Q3, we said if we take our data once it's been ordered, right? Q1, once we found the middle number, once we found our median, that's our middle number there, Q1 will be the halfway point of this set of data, so the data from here to there, and then Q3 will be the halfway point of this set of data. And if we look at that, that would be right in between 30 and 32. The number right in between 30 and 32 would be 31. Does that answer your question, Palisa? That would be Q3. All right, lovely. Okay, everyone, thumbs up. Does everybody understand how to plot a box and whisker? Does everybody know how to find a 5-number summary? It's quite simple, guys. Okay, and the gist behind it isn't just for us to draw nice looking patterns and things that are nice. Okay, let's look at what this information that we've been given actually tells us. Now, if we think about this, right, between Q1 and Q3, and the minimum, there is 4.5 units. Let's call it units. And between Q3 and my maximum number, there are 8 units. Right. Now, between my interquartile range, my IQR is going to be my Q3 value minus my Q1 value. All right. So if I take those and I calculate those, I'm going to get 31 minus 12,5, which should give me, 31 minus 12,5. Let's see. 30 minus 12 would give me 18. That's 19, 18,5, right? 18.5. So the distance in data from there to there is 18.5 units. Now, if I think about the fact that there's 8 here and there's a little bit less here, these numbers are not that far apart in terms of numbering. From there to, and I'm erasing things again. From here to there, and the distribution in between looks even. So we can say that the numbers are kind of evenly distributed across the data that we've been given. So if this is 31 and that is 12.3 and this is 23, then we could almost split this data in like right in half. Okay, we can split it in half equally, which means our data is evenly spread. Okay, which doesn't actually tell us very much, but it does tell us that the way that our information has been spread is quite even. All right, but you'll see in other examples, I just think because this example isn't telling us anything specific, it's a little bit difficult for me to explain, but you'll see when we start interpreting them exactly what man means. All right, let's look at the next one. I want you guys, okay, let me just see. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Do we think we can do this on our own? I don't think it's that difficult. I'm sure we can do this by ourselves. All right. So step number 1, guys, remember, take the information, take the data, and arrange it in ascending order. And then do your Q2 first, because Q2 will split the data in half, and then find Q1 and Q3. Now, while you guys are doing that, I'm going to fetch a jersey because I didn't know what kind of brave soul I was. Not wearing a jersey in this weather. I'll be right back. Oh, Balisa did a quiz about it today. Cool. All right. Well, that's what your quiz this Wednesday is also about. How are we doing, peeps? Good. All right. I'll give you guys 2 more minutes and then we've got to get to it because we still have interpretation of graphs to go. All right. All right, I'm going to call it peeps for time. Let's see how everyone did. Okay, let's start at the beginning. Right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to order our data from smallest to biggest. So we'll start with 42, 44, 46, so 42, 44, 46. And then from there we've got 51, 58, and 60. 51, 58, 60, and then 67, 69, 72, 67, 69, 72. All right, so this is nice and easy. We know that that is our minimum value, that is our maximum value. So minimum 42, maximum 72. Okay, then we can find our median by counting inwards. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So our middle number there is 58. That is our median. Our Q2 is 58. Our Q1 is going to be the midpoint in here, the middle number in between these two, which in this case, if we count inwards, would be 46. So Q1 would be 46. Q3 would be the midway point between this side over here, that is 67. So Q3 is 67. All right, and then it's just a matter of us drawing the box and whisker plot to fit with it. All right, so my Q1 is 46, so that's going to be over here. Okay, my Q3 is 67, so that is going to be over there. All right, and I think I got it. 46, and that's 68, not 67. There's 67 there. All right, my Q3 is 58. All right, that's over there. And my maximum value is 72, so that's over here. And my minimum value is 42, and that's over here. All right. So if we look at the information now, let's compare that box and whisker to this one over here. Oh, by the way, how did you guys do? Thumbs up? Thumbs down? How did you do? Did everybody get it? Lovely, easy stuff. All right, okay, cool. So if we look at what we've got in this particular box and whisker, you will note that my Q2, my median value, is more towards the right-hand side. Can you guys see that? Are we aware of that? It's more towards the numbers on this side, right? So it shows, let's say, for instance, if we were getting, if this was a test, and the median score, the person who should get the middle number in the class got 58. If they got 58, what this would tell us, and if the highest person got 72, what this would tell us was that this is a very easy test. And the person getting 42 probably didn't study. You see what I mean? Because the tendency or the higher marks are in the top half of the information we've been given. Thumbs up. Is everybody getting what ma'am is saying? We all good? Because our median is more towards the upper half of the information, it shows that the information in the upper half is more condensed. I see a hand. You can unmute for me and ask your question. Or was that like a thumbs up, but using raise hand instead? Okay, all right. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Guys, these are pretty easy. They're very easy. I want us to try something like this rather. Okay, so this one says the scores of the Sharks rugby team over the last year are given below. Okay, and then we're going to use the information that we've been given over here to answer the questions that follow. All right, so I'm going to order the information with you because I know it's a lot of information. So let's write it together as we go. All right, let's look for the smallest number. The smallest number here is 6. And then from 6, we would go to 10. From 10, we would go to 12. And then 15. So let's order it. 6, 10, 12, 15. All right. Then from 15, we would go to 16 and 17 and 19 and 2 21s. So 16, 17, 19, 21, 21. 17, 19, 21, 21. Then we would go to 22, 22, 23, 23. So 2 of each, 22, 22, 23, 23. And then we would look for a 24. There's a 24, and then a 25, and then a 26. Okay, 24, 25, 26. 26, and then from 26, do we have any 27? No, no 28, so 29, 29, and then 34. 29, 29, 34. 34, what do we have left? We've got 46, 54, 58. Right. 46, 54, 58, and the two last numbers would be 64 and 72. All right, now that I have ordered the information for you, are we able to give a 5-number summary, and are we able to give a box and whisker plot? Thumbs up. Can we do that? Lovely. All right. I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes because this is a lot of data to get through, but you can write it down really quickly. And they did actually play on Saturday. Yes, they did. Okay. All right. Okay, let's write down all of this. Let's get our 5-number summary ready and our box and whisker ready. And then we'll talk about C, D, and E. Okay. All right. Can I give you guys 2 more minutes and then we'll get started? All right, peeps, shall we look at the answers before we run out of time? All right. Let's start with the most obvious ones. We know that we're going to need our maximum and minimum number. Our minimum is 6. Our maximum is 72. Now, if we calculate for the median, let me just see how many values I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So if I wanted to cut my data in half, I need to look for the midpoint between the 12th and the 13th value. So I'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So right in between these two values there, that is my Q2. Q2 is right there. And because between 23 and 23 is just going to be 23, that's what our median is going to be. And now that cuts our data in half again. So we need to find the half of this data on this side. So if we count inwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 10. The middle number over here would be 19. And if we did the same on this side, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. The midpoint on this side would be 29. So our 5-number summary, our minimum is 6. Our Q1 is 19. Q2 is 23. Just give me 1 second. There we go. All right. Our Q2 is 23. That's our midpoint. Our Q3 is 29. And our maximum value is 72. How did we do, peeps? Did we manage? Lovely. Lovely, cool stuff. All right, so we're going to have to take this information that we've been given and we're going to have to plot it on a box and whisker. Right, but now remember, guys, our box and whisker must be accurate. Okay, so we can't just decide that we're going to make up our own numbers. We need to make sure that we pick up a ruler and we make sure that our spacing is correct. Okay, so if I have 6 over there, I'm going to start this at 0. And I'm going to try and split this in equal parts. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, and because my highest number is 72, I can stop at 75. I don't have to go any further. Now, I know that I'm drawing this freehand, but grade 10s, you guys need to be able to draw this properly. Please make sure that you're using a ruler. Most times, if you get something like this in an exam or a test, they'll give you a metric or they'll give you a scale already. They'll give you the ruler. So you just know how to, you just have to figure out how to plot it on there. All right. Okay. So first number is 6. That is our first whisker on the left. That is our minimum value. Our maximum value is 72. So that's over here. Our Q2 is 23. So 23 would be over here. Q3 is 29, so that's over here. And Q1 is 19, so that's over there. So this is like the tiniest little box. And then look at our 2 whiskers. That's how that should look. Clearly, you should do it with a ruler. Don't follow Teacher Coco's whatever she drew over here. But I hope that we all know that we need to use a ruler to draw these. Okay, don't just draw them freehand like I have. All right, and that's what our box and whisker plot is going to look like. All right, thumbs up, how did we do? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Does it look similar? Lovely, lovely. Okay, so the next question says, what percentage of games did the Sharks score below 23? Now, they're asking us for a percentage, right? And below 23, we know that our median, our Q2 is 23. Right? This is Q3 and this is Q1. Just if this is 23 over here, grade 10s, what percentage of values are below? What percentage of the numbers are below or the scores are below there? What does our data do, or what does Q2 do to our data exactly? What does it do? Or what does the median do? Or how does it split? I don't know if I should ask, how does it split our data into what? Anybody got any ideas? Nobody? Okay, I'll have to let you guys in on the secret. Okay, it's not actually a secret. Okay, my question is, what does our Q2 do to our data? That is the question. How does it split our data? Any idea, grade 10s? Okay, that's okay. It splits the data in half. This is the first half, and this is the second half. Does that make sense at least? Is everybody understanding what ma'am is saying? What does the Q2 value do? It splits our data in half. Yes, thumbs up. Does everybody understand? Are we all okay with that? Right. Okay. So
I guess the principal didn't want to say it.
Okay. I knew you would.
I thought it was wrong.
No, you're absolutely correct. Yes, it splits the data in half. So now they're asking us, what percentage of games did the Sharks score below 23? And now we know that 23 is our Q2. So if our Q2 has split our data in half, what percentage lies that way? in that direction? What percent? If it's half of the data. Half as a percentage would be, that's correct, Leto. Yes, absolutely. It splits it in half, therefore 50% of my data. Okay, so we can say, what percentage of games did the Sharks score below 23? In 50% of their games, they've scored 23 or less. Okay, thumbs up. Does that make sense? Is everybody okay with what I've said here? All right, guys, I don't want to leave you behind. So if you're still a little bit stuck, I hope you're understanding. All right, Abulele, where did I lose you?
On C.
C. Okay. All right. So let me ask it this way, Abulele. Do you agree that from 6 all the way to 72, all of this data is 100% of my data? Do you agree?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Right. So what is the middle number? Which number splits my data in half?
23.
Correct. 23 splits my data in half. Right. So we could almost say that this is the bottom half of the data, and this is the top half of the data. Agreed? So in percentage, what would this part of my data be? How much percent?
50%.
Good. This would be 50%. And the top half would also be 50%, right? So
Yes, ma'am.
when they ask us, what percentage of games did the Sharks score below 23? We know 23 is the middle point, which means how many or what percentage of the data is after or falls before 23? What percentage of that data?
It's 50%.
50%. Is that making sense? Does that work a little bit better?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're very welcome, my darling. Good question. All right. Okay. Then D says, what is the interquartile range? Do we remember how to calculate the IQR? Does there anybody remember from last week, Wednesday? Okay, I'll give you a quick refresher. So we said if we're calculating the range, just the range, we will take the maximum number minus the minimum number, which is nice. That's easy. Now, our interquartile range must use our Qs. It must use our Qs. So in order to calculate for the interquartile range, we're going to take the Q3 value, Q3, and we're going to minus Q1. It's that simple. Okay, my Q3 value, according to my data, is 29, minus my Q1 value, which is 19. And therefore, oh, excuse me, guys. And therefore, my answer is 10. All right, and it's that simple. Q3 minus Q1, that's it. Well done, Fumelo and Palisa, lovely. Right, Q3 minus Q1, which is just 10. All right, now it says, question E says, what can you say about the spread of the data? Now, let's look at how this whole box and whisker plot has been set up, right? Where is most of the information? Is it more to the left or more to the right? Where is most of the information that we're looking at in our box and whisker? Is it more to the left or more to the right? Well, you're correct there. Well, ma'am, I see both. I'm not sure. Okay, so Rifumelo, you're not wrong. It is skewed. It's skewed right. But what I'm basically asking is comment on the say. What can we say about the spread of data? We can tell by looking at this that most of it is condensed in the top half or in the bottom half of the data, right? This is Q3. Remember, Q3 is the 75th percentile. So that means most of my points are in here, are in this quarter over here, or these 3 quarters over here. So we can say that 75% of the data is below 29. All right. Am I making sense or have I lost some of you? Okay. Balisa, remember, we're not specifically thinking about how much data there is. Think about it in the sense of how many games they've played and how much they've scored. Do they normally score high numbers or do they normally score low numbers? High or low numbers when the Sharks are playing? Do they normally score high or score low? Okay. Oh my goodness. All right. So I guess I get it is a little bit confusing, but I just want to double check. Thumbs up. Does everybody agree with me that most of the data is sitting on the left according to our box and whisker plot? Is everybody okay with that idea? Yes? Okay. Which means that the Sharks getting a number in the 70s, like scoring 72 points in a game, is a rare occasion. Most of the time, they're scoring in the teens or in the low 20s. So for them to be scoring things like 34 or 45 or even 50s, it only happens once in a while. Not all the time, just once in a while, which means most of our data is condensed in the lower numbers. So we can say 75% of the data is below 29.